Standing by, we got Jonah Bobo on the line, young actor that you've seen in the film Zathura. He is now spending the summer with his dad on the road, trying to visit every Major League Baseball park there is. Hey, Jonah.
Hey guys, what's up?
How's the trip going so far?
Oh, it's been so incredible. We're almost done though. We just hit our 23rd park, Camden Yards in Baltimore.
All right, what's been your favorite?
My favorite park, it's probably been Wrigley Field because it was a great experience, but the park is really old. And Petco Park in San Diego, that was probably the coolest park we've seen so far.
Now, has the trip been as fun as you hoped it would be, or was there any down parts?
No, it's been just as fun as I thought it would be and more, but we've had some bad experiences. Like when we were driving from Denver to Texas, my cousin, Ez, who's not on the trip anymore, had to leave for medical school, he got a speeding ticket, and we were in the middle of nowhere, and he got pulled over by a cop, got a speeding ticket, and it was like 3 in the morning. So we were looking for a hotel or motel to stay in, and we ended up driving to what the cop said was a rest stop, but really it was just this open field of dirt and grass. We parked our car there and slept for the night.
Is it at that point where you're really missing Manhattan and wanting to come home?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Seeing the country has been a really great experience, but I kind of miss home, yeah.
Now, you were going to go in this big Winnebago. Something happened with that?
Yeah, we were going to go in this huge old motorhome, but it was being driven out to us. It came from Michigan when we were in L.A., and it was being driven out to us, and the second it came off the truck, we all looked at it and said, no, there's no way we're driving this across the country. The brakes were like shot, the clutch was broken, and I mean, it was like 45 years old, so.
Really sounds like the Griswolds out there.
Yeah, but no, we had to ditch that car, and then we ended up just taking our rental van that we'd been using until the car got there, and we're still in that.
And didn't something happen to your dad in St. Louis, I heard, from your mom?
Yeah, he got a kidney stone in St. Louis, and that meant we had to skip Minnesota. So we're going to have to fly back there when we get home, when the trip is over.
All right, I think that's cheating, Jonah.
To just make the drive.
Yeah, I think that's cheating. So have you gotten to the point where you've screamed in your dad's face, I want to go home, end this now?
No, I'm actually loving every second of it. I could go for a lot longer just watching baseball, but he's kind of going a little nuts because after my cousin left, he's been doing all the driving, and he's going a little crazy. I don't know if he can take much more. He's starting to fudge days together. Mm-hmm. Like he won't remember what game we were at 2 days ago. So I'm a little worried about him. But
yeah, I think I warned against this.
Yeah.
All right, so what's the next stop?
The next stop is Atlanta tomorrow.
And who you seen the Braves play?
You know what? I'm not sure. I don't know who the Braves
Yeah, this is completely disorganized. All right, Jonah,
yeah, totally.
You guys keep having fun, and everyone can check this out on bobobaseball.com.
Yes, and donate to Team Continuum.
That's Jonah's charity that he's trying to raise money for.
Right.
That helps cancer patients and some of the expenses that their families have. You can check it all out at bobobaseball.com. Thanks, Jonah.
Hey, thanks a lot.
I just got an email. Why is Fez so angry with this kid?
Am I angry?
That's the way you ask questions. Where are you going next?
I didn't even
You
notice.
sound like Grandma. Where are you going?
Well, they never call.
Sounds like a fantastic trip, though. God damn. Every ballpark over the summer.
Dream come true. My dad always promised us, never delivered. Thanks a lot, Patty Cakes. Thanks.
Well, I remember one time my dad said to me, we'll go in every swimming pool in America, even if it's in people's backyards. We'll just keep going around diving in pools. And he goes, we'll set a record for diving in the most pools. And I said, Dad, what about that vacation? He goes like this. You're going to hold me to what I said when I'm drunk? He goes, Why don't you put on an apron? If you're gonna talk like mommy, why don't you put on her apron? You little pussy.
No way to talk to a child.
No, this was last year. This was last year.
All right, well.
And the pool idea was still alive.
Well, he promised.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do that very, very badly.
I've always wanted to rob a bank in every state, the 50-state robber.
I've never been to Wrigley. I gotta get to there.
Love it.
And maybe the St. Louis Park, Camden's. I've never been there either. Been to Yankee Fenway, Dodgers.
So you haven't been to much. Been to 3 parks.
No, I went to the vet.
But here's the funny thing. You ever notice that everyone doesn't feel like they need to, well, I've got to see a football game in every stadium.
Yeah.
I've got to see a basketball game in every arena.
There's no uniqueness.
No one has that fucking dream.
Well, they all have the same exact dimensions. So every baseball park is like a fine sculpture of architecture.
But it's also odd and unexpected for the football stadium to be part of the neighborhood. It just doesn't feel, I guess because you play so few games,
right.
But it just doesn't feel like, hey, that's part of the neighborhood. No one ever brags that I grew up outside of, fucking Veterans Stadium. It just doesn't have any allure.
Maybe it would be different if football was played in the summer.
Why would that be?
Where it would feel like road trip. To that would be the summer vacation.
Well, people do road trip all the time to see their team play. Mm-hmm. But you're not talking about that when you're doing the baseball park. You're just talking about seeing baseball games. No one acts like, I want to see the Yankees play in every park. You just want to show up, and if you're watching Cubs, fucking Braves, great. Whatever it happens to be, great.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the charm of baseball.
I never go to Chicago without going to Wrigley. And I like it more now than I did years ago.
Now, do you like it better than your park in Philly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The park in Philly is a nice fake park.
Now, have you been to Fenway?
No, I have not. I have not. I was supposed to go up there. It was sold out. Next time I was in Boston, they weren't home.
What about this upcoming vacation, maybe?
I just went to New England.
Just do it again.
Do everything in fucking New England.
Try it again. By the way,
if I go up there, you're going to be in New England, right?
Yeah, we're going to Lake Wampasaki for sure.
I would do that. I would hook up with you, but there's going to be dungeons.
There's no dungeons in not on vacation. You put the dungeons aside, you come back from vacation, dungeons continue.
Speaking of which, I got a little note from Mafia Life Chris, who says he has done nothing but schooled this fucking Chris Stanley on how our family works, and then Chris gets on the air and says bulls. It's good. He never gives me any of the details, what's happening, how to do it, even though he's been schooled. You know what? Maybe where are you staying in Lake Winnipesaukee?
We're staying at Lake Winnipesaukee. I don't know the name of the hotel.
Maybe I'll come up and stay with you for a week.
That's fine. That'd be awesome. By the way, speaking of baseball, real quick, Pedro debut tomorrow against the Cubs. Pedro's Philadelphia Phillies debut. Struck out 14 in Double-A ball. So that should get the Philly fans excited.
Millie Hatcher says, you don't sound angry, you sound tired. You have been tired lately.
Oh, yeah.
You're not sleeping.
No, the sleep just goes out. I get maybe an hour.
What happened last night?
Last night I just wasn't feeling good emotionally, and then I kind of regressed into a heartbreak mode.
What were you feeling bad about?
I was feeling bad about some bookings that I canceled. I was feeling bad.
One, and it was only one, and it was an unmask, and you knew that was going to happen. You know that person is kind of flighty,
right?
And it's also, a big deal. So you stay with it. So how did that get you upset?
Well, it made me just think, I'm not pulling anything off. Nothing is working.
So why would that take you into heartbreak?
Well, and then I was just thinking about a crush from a while back. I think I had mentioned before there was a wedding this month.
So your crush got married?
Yeah, exactly. So I just I got weepy about that. It comes out of nowhere. That was like late at night. That was like probably about 12:30, Midnight, 12:30. So it seems like that's a rough time for me. Like if I'm not asleep by midnight,
Start sobbing.
then that is it. Then the emotions take over. So that's what happened last night. And then just,
That makes
hadn't cried in a while, and I think everything was just gushing out.
Were you just thinking about how your life would have been different if you were with this person?
Thought about that.
How wonderful it would be.
Thought about, how different it would be. How nice it would be.
So how long did the crying jag go on for?
The crying jag was like on and off for probably the next 2.5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, it was overwhelming. And the weird thing is, it's like so many times I have the feeling, well, that doesn't bother me anymore. That doesn't affect me. I'm completely past that. And then, boom, I'm not past it.
Just thinking about that person?
Yeah, totally. It feels like it comes out of nowhere. It feels really, really bad. And last night it got me about midnight, 12:30.
And this person's married to somebody else?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, so...
No, idiot. The song. What? Whose number?
Oh.
Whose number would you try to find?
I got confused on what you were talking about.
Write down whose number
Nothing.
you're trying to find. Write down the number you're trying to find. Hey, Brian in New Jersey.
Hey, it'll be one idea, Mr. Bay.
What are you, insane?
Fezzy. You ever see the movie with Robert Redford where he chases Demi Moore in Indecent Proposal?
No, I never saw. I know the movie, but I never saw it.
It's a movie. Fez didn't see it.
Well, you got to see it, Fezzy, because Robert Redford at the end, he talks about how he met this chick on a bus and he never asked her out, and it's haunted him ever since, and that's why he never plays games. So you're going to just freaking call the next guy you see on the bus, just call him up and, suck his cock. See ya.
I don't know if that's the answer to this. But, I always think I get to a point where I'm past it. Maybe people just don't. Maybe that point just doesn't exist.
Jerry, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, good evening, buddies. I think it's funny when Fez was interviewing Jonah, it was all sort of negative. Oh, don't you wish you were home? Is your dad going crazy? Then when the talk comes to Fez, now he's all happy to be depressed, and he's all happy talking about it. What's the deal?
It's kind of a good point, Fezzy. I told you to be the one who interviewed Jonah, and you're only looking for bad stories.
Well,
the rest of us think of this as the summer of pure excitement. Bet you wish you were home. Bet your dad really ruined that. You didn't get the van you wanted.
I thought those would be the more interesting stories of the problems trying to get across country to pull off this trip.
Yeah, but just why wouldn't the kid just said, I'm having the best summer of my life? Maybe that's just a metaphor. That you're always looking what went wrong. It's always got to be something.
Well, yeah, it's I really didn't, realize that I was doing it that much. Yeah, I had no idea it was such a negative talk with the kid. Now I feel bad about it.
And that makes you feel good?
No, that doesn't make me feel good. I just thought, I wanted to hear the bad along with the good.
Kiefer Sutherland has been named TV's highest paid actor, reportedly making about $470,000 an episode. Kiefer Sutherland, number one.
Followed by Charlie Sheen.
Here's the interesting thing. Remember when the highest paid actor used to make well over $1 million a week?
Yes.
And that's more than cut in half now.
Yeah, underpaid. Kiefer, squeeze some more out of these people. Without you, 24 is dead. Who's his agent? Let Davey Mack be your agent, Mr. Sutherland. I'll fucking get you some fucking cash. He is that show.
Here is John in Georgia.
Hey, Hey, Fez, I notice it's okay for you to point out negativity and bad stuff to Jonah, but if Dave does it to you, you have a big problem with it, and it's all personal attacks meant to undermine you.
I think it's a completely different situation. I wanted to hear. I wasn't looking for negative things. I was looking for road stories.
Here is Brian in Utah.
Completely different.
Brian in Utah.
Hey, Schenectady, New York. You need to watch it, Fez. It'll make you feel a little better.
It's supposedly a very depressing movie, Fez.
Yeah, it sounds like I can't imagine any movie about. I don't know what Schenectady, New York is about, but I can't imagine any movie being about heartbreak helping me right now.
So he never even said it was about heartbreak.
I can only assume if he wants me to watch it.
I think you're probably wrong with that, but
Yeah. I saw it.
It's not about heartbreak at all.
No, it's a very existential film that not one of Charlie Kaufman's best.
But it's basically nothing matters, and what if it did? Oh yeah, and then we die. Nothing matters, and then we die.
Right.
Well, Fez, you don't seem to be getting any happier, any better. You're in a lot of angry situations, and then when you're alone, sad situations.
Yeah, a lot of negative emotions floating around right now. Trying to get a grip on them, and when I think I do have a grip on them, boom, crying night.
I'm kind of waiting for you to come out of this angry period. I don't know where it's coming from or why, but I figured maybe this is all part of it. That maybe you need to get angry before the next step. But it's lasted a lot longer than I thought it was going to. And then we were just yelling at the kid, "Tell me where you went! What did your dad do?"
I think those were all legitimate questions to a kid on a road trip.
The thing is, can I just say something to you? The way that you talk to that kid is like you've never met him before in your life. You know that kid. Mm-hmm. You could have had a real conversation with him, but you were just yelling questions at him. How many places?
I don't. We went to
trying my best.
Kansas City.
You know,
I was trying to keep it moving.
I don't have the movie career I used to either. I shouldn't be out here. I should be doing another movie.
True. His voice sounded like Nick Nolte on the phone. How old is that guy?
Well, you'd sound like Nick Nolte, too, if someone was screaming with you.
True.
I saw something the other day in crazy New York, right there on 3rd Avenue, I've never seen before. It's a woman wearing boots. You're all upset, Fez?
No, I'm good.
You're all upset.
No, I'm fine.
You're not being yourself. What's going on?
No, I'm just in a crying mode today.
Because of last night or something we did? Because we said you yelled at the kid?
No, I went back to last night, thinking about it again.
Sorry. Is the honeymoon over?
I don't know.
Why don't you just grab her and tell her how you feel?
Just called to say hello.
Like The Graduate.
I couldn't
Get a crucifix now?
And I hope I didn't upset Jonah Bobo.
Mikey Boy said you can tell Fez is tired. Right before the Jonah Bobo interview, he stated if you wanted to email the show, go to ronandfez.com.
Oh, I'm at ronandfez at AOL.com.
Or Webby will be waiting for you.
just called to let you know.
They got this email. I thought this is a disaster angle on baseball trip was funny. Of course, I like the occasional baseball game, but the thought of a cross-country trip planned around baseball games seems like agony. Yeah, I don't think to a baseball fan. It would be.
Right.
It would be pleasure.
Yeah.
It'd be like hearing about, we had to go to strip bars wherever we fucking were.
It really does sound like heaven. Like, there's probably not one thing I could do more, maybe than follow Pearl Jam on the European tour.
See, I think that would get dull. Here's our good friend Arch. Arch.
Hey, I was just wondering, how'd you guys get Larry King in here to interview that kid?
What seems to be the problem? And how many people play on these baseball games?
I tried to make that entertaining by hearing the horror stories, people. You're welcome.
Well, it was just the way that you were probably yelling at the kid.
Well, that I didn't realize.
A little directive at him, a little leading.
I didn't mean for it to be an inquisition. I didn't mean to interrogate the poor child. I just wanted something interesting out of him. All I heard was St. Louis, Kansas City. I wasn't getting any details out of him.
It reminded me of that one scene where the guy yells at the little Stanley and Magnolia. Stanley, did you just piss your pants? Then the kid's like, just answer the fucking question, Stanley.
The kid obviously needs a script to work off of.
Well, you were giving him one.
And it still
and
wasn't
what is
working.
the worst city? And what is the best city?
The best city is Pittsburgh.
I understand you have a story about the van. What happened there?
Why, yes, I do.
I understand your dad ran into some trouble in Minnesota.
The kid was giving us nothing. I needed to lean on him.
Why didn't you just talk to the young man? Just talk to him like you've known him for a long time. Nate in Atlanta.
Fezzy, would you just be able to let go of all this hurt and anguish by letting out your secret? Because it seems like it's a massive boulder that's on your shoulders. And you could just get rid of it by telling us your secret.
This might be it. This guy might have talked Fez into it. Are you ready, Fez?
No, I don't think this is it. This isn't it.
What about Monday?
It's Out Your Friends Monday. Out Your Friends Monday.
Out your friends. Out your friends.
All right, this, as far as the Jonah kid went, it sounded like Fez couldn't wait to get rid of him. And then this person writes, I hate this Jonah kid. Boring. Get him off. Hate him.
Well, that's why I was trying to liven it up for the folks. That's what I was trying to do, pulling teeth.
Michael in Houston.
Hey, Ronnie. Hey, was that Nancy Grace cross-examining an accused killer or something?
So,
if that's what it takes.
Is that what takes?
To get something out of him. To hear about the trip.
He's going to hear this. Ron.
What did the kid do wrong?
No, I just wasn't getting any details. He said he was having fun. So I figured let's hear some of the horror stories. They may be interesting.
You really should do more of our interviews.
All I heard was Baltimore, Kansas City.
Why did you stop doing the interviews with me? You said the people couldn't understand your questions?
They never understand me. Everything, any comment or question would be followed by, what? What? Yeah, I was just on a different language. Just a different... Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just go in a completely different way.
What do you do when I'm interviewing? You wander around? Have a smoke? What do you do?
No, I enjoy the interview like everyone else.
I thought you did a good job with the kid. I thought you beat the fucking truth out of him.
I did what I could with what I had, Ron. That's what happens.
And then our van broke down. and the Winnebago...
I didn't realize he was British.
You guys talking to each other. That's great. Seriously. That means a lot to me. Me and Chris Stanley were talking about this last night.
They weren't talking to each other yesterday after the show, and it was very awkward in that fucking office.
Dennis, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, what's up, Ronnie?
Yeah.
I was just wondering when Fez's new show, The Old Watley Effect, is coming on.
The folks understand what I'm talking about. Jonah Bobo's on right now. Jonah, is this a left-wing conspiracy going across the country?
What does conspiracy mean?
Brian in New York.
Hey, Fez, you just said you wanted to get something out of the kid. How do you expect to have sex with him if you're yelling at him like that?
Let's see. Fez was just nervous because you left him alone on the air, and the redheaded retard doesn't help either. Now, I was sitting here, but I said, why don't you take this one, Fez?
And I said yes.
Have a little fun with it.
Yeah, and that's what I tried to do.
I didn't think you were going to abuse the young man. Or make him feel like he doesn't like his dad or baseball. You miss home. You wish you were back here.
Kinda. Now that you put it like that, I guess.
What? What?
Now he's Michael Jackson.
Why wasn't Gathura a bigger hit?
Bad direction on Favreau's part.
Favreau. Smith in Minnesota.
I think Fezzi's interview should be a special segment on Ron Bing's interviews this weekend.
It would not
He's
be
fantastic.
it would not be a bad idea. Doug in Tennessee.
Yeah, at one point, didn't Fez even tell the kid that he predicted a disaster on the trip?
Oh, yeah. I said that when they came in here, before the trip started.
So do you see this as a do you see this as a disastrous trip for the kid?
No, he's having fun. I was trying to have fun with it. That's exactly what happened.
What happened? I want to know.
The kid called in to talk about his trip, right?
All right, character.
Right?
I got you. You're doing a character now.
He wasn't telling us anything about the trip.
All right, this in an email. Poor Jonah. All the wind taken out of his sails, and then he squeaks, and don't forget to donate to the charity. That was my favorite part. Just at the end.
I think that was a cue from off stage to him.
It's like Tiny Tim.
Johnny, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, Ron, I kind of wanted to ask you how you were, but I was afraid you wouldn't answer me. Maybe Fez's problem is he's got too much estrogen. The levels are a little too high. The mood swings. He's yelling. He's angry the next minute. He's crying.
Could these be the meds?
I really don't think so. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'm on that much that would screw with my head. You know, unless, well, maybe the blood sugar if it's going up and down.
But you said you were up all night crying about something you thought you were over.
Yeah. Yeah, right out of the blue there.
And how many years has it been now? 6?
Probably, yeah. But there was
heartbreak is rough.
There was there, for a long time where I just tried not to think about it at all.
That's when the heart attacks started happening?
It acted like it didn't exist. Then the heart literally broke.
Rob in Seattle.
Hey, buddy. I didn't know, I thought Morton Downey Jr. was dead. I didn't know he worked for the Ron and Fez show and did the interviews of the children.
That would be really great. Fez Watley Jr. and you're just out there doing the old Morton bit. Sam in Carolina.
Jonah said that his dad had kidney stones. Fez didn't even ask if his dad was okay.
There was no follow-ups.
They're back on the road. I know. Everyone knows. Everyone realizes they're on their way to Atlanta.
I liked it. I thought it was good. You don't see fucking much anger in children's programming.
Sometimes it's necessary, I guess. I'm not going to say I'm an expert.
Jabbers.
Hey, buddies. What's up?
What's up?
Fez, I think you need to redo this interview positively. You should retry it. So ask me about my vacation.
No, I'm not going to sit here and interview jabbers.
What?
Jonah Bobo was boring enough. I'm not going to interview jabbers.
That's hurtful. That is hurtful and mean. And now I'm going to cry.
Fine.
All right, 866 Ron Zero Fez. Fezzy, I'm about to play silent bidding with you three guys again. Silent bidding. Get your cards and pens out.
All right.
Now remember, you will be competing against each other. Last time, the person who won the silent bidding was our own Chris Stanley, who claimed that he would drink, I believe, 2 liters of vodka every day for 3 days for $3 million. This time it's different. Here's the silent bidding. 6 months, solitary confinement. You don't see any other human beings. No outside stimulation. That means no books, no TV, no radio. You eat nothing but rice and beans and water. How much money would you be willing to do this for? Now, just like the $1 Million Man says, everybody has a price.
Sure.
But you are gambling against the other two people. I'm going to accept the lowest bid. 6 months, solitary confinement, rice and beans, and water.
Okay.
There's got to be a price,
All right.
says the $1 Million Man. Chris Stanley went to his fast. Dave seems to be there now.
All right.
And Fez Watley. Now, Fez, you realize you're going against these other two guys.
Right, yeah.
Since you're the one with the most assets, I'm going to go to you first and see if you can win this. 6 months.
For $200,000.
You would do that for $200,000?
For $200,000. Now, to me, the isolation, probably not that big of a problem. I've done it to myself. The rice and beans and water is where I find it a little tricky. So that's where I would have the trouble with it. So, and I'm betting these guys would have trouble with both parts of it.
Yeah, I'm surprised by your figure. It's much lower than I would have thought.
Well, I also realize I'm competing, too. I mean, I had...
Well, you also know your serious money. What your serious money that you would be giving up over 6 months would be, you idiot. All right, let's move on. You're going there at a loss, is what I'm trying to tell you. Chris Stanley.
$65,000.
$65,000. $10,000 a month. 65. Solitary confinement, nothing but rice and beans.
I feel it's like a vacation because after the 6 months, I come out and I get to learn all these new things that happened over the past 6 months.
Chris in New Jersey, you're on the Run and Fez show. Chris.
You.
Yeah.
Hey, did we get the place off there?
All right, let me explain something. This is why I hate to do any fucking hypothetical situations on the air. Because hammerheads try to beat the game. The game is no outside stimulation. None. $65,000. About $2,000 a week, a little more than $2,000 a week. Chris Stanley's ready to give up 24 hours a day and nothing but rice and beans.
What else do I got?
Dave McDonald.
All right. Chris Stanley said $65,000.
Dave McDonald has put up $25,000.
25 G's, baby. I'm the winner.
I literally might do this. For $25,000, I might just keep you in a closet here.
Right.
At Sirius.
That's cool. And because it's a show bit, I still get the Sirius paycheck, right?
I'm going to walk down the hall and ask them if they would want to keep you on a thing.
In the closet.
Yeah.
That's cool.
In a closet with a camera up top until you go fucking bananas.
I'll look for a bean, rice, or water sponsor.
I would do it. That's it. That's all I would do. I've been hoping for some more.
Bean, rice, and water sponsors. We're down to 3 possible sponsorship deals.
Goya. Oh, for all
Handles
3.
it all.
Wow, that's a shocker, Dave.
Yeah, I would do it. On top of my current paycheck, I would definitely do it in a heartbeat.
That means in 6 months you'd still be in debt.
Doesn't matter. I would still do it, and I would do it happily.
Here's Robbie. Robbie, you're on Run and Fez.
Hey, Chris Stanley, you hipster prick, you're full of shit. You couldn't do 3 days in solitary confinement.
He is a fucking hipster. He'd be rolling over and saying exactly where he got his oxys.
Fuck that.
Alex, you're on Run and Fez.
Yeah, Ronnie, how you doing, buddy? I want to know if there's going to be a window. Do you get sunlight? I don't know if that's considered outside still. Other than
There's no sunlight.
Thank you.
We're in fucking jail here.
Good, excellent.
All right, hold on.
I hate the sun.
But let's look at this. Charlie Manson. See how I got a sunroof in his fucking cell? It doesn't fucking happen. You're not getting a skylight. The only person who has a skylight is people Batman breaks in on. By the way, we've got this tape now, finally, of Hillary Clinton, and according to Fox News, raging raging against, what was it, a little Ethiopian boy?
From the Congo.
And the difference is what, Fez?
I don't. Area code.
Thank you. So they ask a question. The translator fucked it up and thought it was her husband, and really they were asking about Obama. And the question was what, Fez?
It came out to be what was Bill Clinton's view on some sort of economic policy in Africa.
Okay.
And I guess she got upset that they want to know Bill's opinion and not hers.
All right, let's take a listen.
Wait, you want me to tell you what my husband thinks? My husband is not the Secretary of State. I am. So you ask my opinion, I will tell you my opinion. I'm not going to be channeling my husband.
I didn't think she got that upset.
No, it's not the hissy that Fox News was portraying or that I was hoping for.
Yeah, you would have heard a lot more anger during Fez's interview with young Jonah Bobo.
I don't know. She came across pretty harsh. I won't be channeling.
It's not that big a deal, though.
Yeah. She's a harsh lady. She could have eased up a little bit. It's a person from the Congo. Relax. Even if they were asking about Bill Clinton, it's the big deal. Jesus Christ.
Leader, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Ron, you just said you're going to give Dave $25,000 to stay in a closet?
Yeah.
Fez does it for free.
Or you could come in here and just bomb again. And that would probably feel like 6 months to you and the rest of us.
So your way is just to invite him back in here again?
Oh, I would love to see that. Such a
Name your date.
disaster.
Leader, you're invited.
All right, set it up, Fez, or is it going to fall through?
I don't do your secretarial work, Leader, all right?
All right, try to get the booking done, Fez.
Oh, because he was upset last night because his booking fell through?
Yeah, see, it's happening again already. He's reliving his moments in here.
You were so angry, though, because your booking fell through for the Unmasked?
Yeah, I was pissed at the booking and myself, too. Wanted to get it done, wanted to get it accomplished.
Let's take you off that Unmasked. It seems like it has you too upset. Dave, go underneath and get that mouse back up, would you please? Mm-hmm. I'm going to count, though, and see how fast you can do it. 1, 2... Oh, he's fast. Look at him. All right, that's not the way it comes up, though. It's got to come up and through.
Fuck! Do it again.
1, 2, yeah. There he is. There you go.
Can I get a snack?
Sure, if you need one. Why do you like to play puppy dog with me?
I like to get things done.
You like to pretend that you're my little puppy?
No.
Oh, we got some fucking crew here. We got some crazy-ass crew. Here is, here's Jay in South Carolina.
Hey, what's up, man?
What do you got?
It blows my mind that Dave's willing to take $25,000 to miss his child's first step.
No, yeah, and in addition to the serious pay, that's the big money I've been looking for. I gotta fucking do it, pal. And so what if I miss a couple first steps?
You're gonna also miss Christmas. You're gonna miss Halloween.
Well, good points, but I have to do that. But here's the deal: I'm gonna miss Christmas and Halloween, right?
Yeah.
But 2010's Christmas and Halloween are gonna be out of this world, pal, because I got a lot of extra loot lying around. I mean, after I pay the hospital bills and all this bullshit.
How much you owe the hospitals?
Oh, come on, thousands. This new plan is just garbage. But anyway, the point is...
How come the new plan works for me? Works for Fez?
Have you guys
works
done
great for me, Ron.
With the new plan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it works absolutely great for me, Ron. I can get stress tests done, with, the nuclear stress test done.
You understand this is what upsets him, that you don't know how to use the plan? He feels like this is an attack on him.
No,
Angiograms
I know.
paid for without spending a dime.
When you hear him run down the plan, how come it makes you so upset?
Because I think it's a reflection on me.
Well, Fez has nothing to do with the plan. It was the people who set up the plan, who I called, who I talked to.
Yeah. He feels like he's the executive producer of the show. And when you don't know what you're doing with your plans and it gets posted online, the plan sucks. Do you know that he sees that as a reflection on him?
No, he shouldn't. It should be a reflection on the plan.
That I'm not taking care of things around here?
But he has nothing to do with the plan. It's the plan.
The plan works for everybody.
It does. All you have to do is sign up for it.
We have signed up for it. I signed up for it.
On time.
Travis just had a kid. Everything, they didn't pay a cent.
All covered.
These operations, I was there on Friday. There you go.
What operations?
My son's stomach operation.
The plan doesn't cover a stomach operation.
They covered a bunch of it, but they didn't cover all of it. No, I mean, I guess you can't get...
Is he signed up for the wrong plan?
I don't know. I mean, the last time when I tried to help him with talking to somebody here in the Sirius XM building, the last time I talked insurance with him, and tried to make sure that and told him about deadlines that had to be done.
They were all done. You want to see my insurance card?
So I just don't understand maybe if something didn't get checked online that should have.
It all got checked.
So you're wrong, Fez.
Yeah, apparently I'm wrong, and so is everyone else that is covered under the system and isn't paying for C-sections or, stents or anything else.
Fez, you were, let's move on.
Okay.
You get mad about this every day. Dave doesn't understand what makes you mad every day.
No, I don't. I'm going to start I can't talk. I mean, I was just talking to Ron about why I would love the solitary confinement bit.
I'm going to try to get it for you.
Thank you. That's all.
But when you run down the plan, and when anyone in your family runs down the plan online, he feels like it's an attack on him.
It's not. As long as he doesn't work for human resources.
He does. In his mind, he is the connection between human resources. Just like when I want something, he wants to go to booking and get it. When he doesn't get it, he's up all night. You don't get the plan that you're supposed to have, according to him, because you're too stupid. He's up all night worrying about that. Thinks it's a bad reflection on him.
Right.
Simple.
Okay.
You don't get it, though?
The way you are systematically explaining it to me.
Yeah.
I'm starting to understand it, but I can't say that I've fully grasped it.
Okay.
But I'm just starting to... It's fiddling into my head.
He felt, even initially through the plan, you should have used him, went through it. Instead, according to him, you and your wife are irresponsible, then bitch online to fucking strangers instead of bringing it to him and letting him help fix it. It's a reflection in him. Every time you do that, he feels like it's an attack on him.
Okay. Well, it wasn't, but anyway. I now see what you're saying.
And I've told you this before.
Right. Well, I didn't
know. You guys
know about
attack these sponsors, he feels like it's an attack on him. Just trying to explain Fez's map of the world.
Okay.
Not even saying he's 100% right.
I get it now.
But everybody else can make the plan here work.
Everyone.
And when you call this a shit house or a dump or whatever, when you're attacking the plant, no, but I'm saying overall.
Right.
It's like, you ever see like a guy that's a lifer in the Marine Corps?
Yeah.
He don't like a lot of Marine Corps jokes.
Pheasant
sees himself as a radio lifer.
Right. Well, it wasn't about the company. It was about, well, whatever. It was about the health care. I mean, it's a different company.
You want the Barack Obama health care? Health care for everybody?
I would love that.
Okay. We'll see if we can't get it for you. I'm going to call her off. All right. Because you told me that you, even though that cell phones are so big out there, you miss phone booths.
Yeah, I think we should still have the phone booths available to us. And now I'm saying you don't even need the payphone, but just have the booths out there like there used to be where you could take your cell phone in a booth, and if you're having trouble hearing on the street, go into the booth and use a phone booth with your cell phone.
Okay, so they would not be phone booths at all. They would be silent booths.
Yeah, I guess so, sure.
Because there wouldn't be a phone in there.
No, it's not necessary. Everyone has a phone. But go ahead and have the phone booth still so that people can get off of a sidewalk or a busy street and make their phone call. And where they can hear the other person. You hear so many people shouting into their cell phones. So many of those conversations are so loud, It's because they don't have a place where they can hear properly, and they're just shouting back at the other person.
Well, it's really funny because I know, like, you still have some kind of things like that in old hotels or old bars.
Right.
And people will just take their cell phone in there. But what you would like silent booths where people could talk.
Yeah, I think people would love that. I would
What if
use
I came
them.
up, if you're in there with a cell phone, you're like, can I please? You've been in there long enough. I'd now like to take my cell phone in there.
I would show you my cell phone that I'm having my conversation on and hold up the just a minute finger.
Right, let me
that I'm talking.
Let me check with Chris Stanley. Chris Stanley, would you ever stop walking and go stand in a booth?
No, I just use it as a urinal, probably. That's what I use it for now.
That's what I worry about.
It happens.
I don't want to stop into a piss booth, a silent piss booth.
They would be cheap enough. You could advertise in them without having to put any sort of equipment in it. You don't need the payphone in the phone booth.
But the advertisement would only reach one person at a time.
Well, it would reach anyone that's walking by the booth.
Chris in Colorado.
Hey, Rodney, what's up?
Yeah.
Hey, Fezzy, who pays for these boxes on the street?
They would be paid for, the city could put them up, and they would be paid for
the
through
city.
advertising.
Now the city's paying again.
How cheap could they be? How expensive could they be? You're not putting a phone in them, and then you get all the money back by the cell phone companies wanting to advertise on them.
Why would the cell phone companies want to advertise them?
If you're looking for a new cell phone, that's the time to grab somebody right when they're getting theirs. If they're having trouble with it, they see an advertisement. Here's possibly a better phone.
But what's going to stop me from going in there and drinking a beer or eating a sandwich? Why would I just be going in there for cell phone reasons?
Well, then they would have to be, removed, I guess, by police officers. I'm sure.
Again, here's the city involved. Look, it always, you Democrats, it always comes back to the same thing. Let big government pay for it. That's what it's all about. Let's go over here to Mike. Mike in New Jersey.
Hiya, buddies.
Yeah.
Listen, I agree with you, Ron. It's a bad idea. I mean, 5 minutes, these things are going to be vandalized, there's going to be graffiti all over them. And imagine what entertainment we're going to see after these cops are trying to pull out of the homeless that have, they made their homes into these things. It's going to smell like piss. It's going to smell like shit. It's really bad idea.
Basically, this is going to be a urinal for the city, Fez. It's a homeless urinal you put up.
Well,
what do you do if someone gets raped in that phone booth? Or rape booth, as they're now being called.
Well, I would do whatever someone that got raped on the street would do. Call the police.
Big government again, huh? Big government.
The police have to respond to rapes.
Kevin in South Carolina.
Yeah, I believe Fez has been watching Get Smart reruns again. This sounds a lot like the Code of Silence.
Brian in South Carolina.
Are these booths going to be free of charge, or are they going to be like a minute for a quarter, or 5 minutes for $1, or
I think you got to charge people to keep them from staying in there.
I never thought of that.
How about this? You pay $1 for 5 minutes.
Sure.
At the end of 5 minutes, a shock comes into the room, shocking anyone and forcing them to get out of the rape booth.
I'd get out.
I don't know if shocking people is the right way to go.
I'm shocked with this idea.
Sort of defeats the purpose of mobile phones, though. I mean,
you don't have to use them, people.
You know what? You're right.
I mean, people like to walk around.
You're right.
with their
Fucking
cell
our
phone.
health plan stinks, and Feds should know better.
That's not what I said at all.
But I was coming across that.
Oh,
way.
really?
Yeah.
How?
Justin, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, Fezzy, I got an idea. Why don't we just walk around in big spacesuits so that we never have to talk or hear anyone? And then if you want to talk to someone, you flip up the mask.
What do you think of the spacesuits?
When did I say don't talk to people? I said it's hard to hear on a cell phone.
When's the last time that you even had a door on a fucking phone booth? I mean, when
I think that's been decades.
Yeah, so this is something new.
Mm-hmm.
Your idea doesn't even work anymore, because even in the old days, you had to put a finger up to your ear. And the only reason why you were doing that is so you couldn't keep walking. If it was up to you, you would have liked to walk down the street with the fucking phone booth. Ray in New Mexico.
Yeah, well, the reason you can't even do this, the reason phone booths stopped having doors on them long before cell phones and whatever is because they have to be handicapped accessible, and that makes them too big and too unwieldy to be even useful.
Forgot about the handicapped again.
Why are you angry?
I'm not.
Some people can't use their spine.
Yeah, I just that slipped my mind in thinking this out.
Why don't you just have it wider so they're like 4 or 5 feet wide, and this way you can put a bunch of them next to each other and then call it a hotel. Because that's what you really want. You want a hotel on the street, Fez.
No, just some place to duck into where you can hear somebody on the other end of the cell phone if you need to.
Why don't you do that? What are you going to call them? A buddy booth? Why don't you do this? You're walking down the street.
Uh-huh.
You duck into one of your booths. You call Jonah Bobo on the phone. You start screaming at him.
I wouldn't use them as Bobo booths.
Here is Tony. Tony in Brooklyn.
Hey guys, they had an article in the Daily News of the Post a couple of weeks ago about one of these phone booths is still left in Manhattan on like 116th and West End Avenue, and our mother like brings her son over there who's seen Superman, and the kid she puts the Superman shirt on in there and stuff like that. Bezzy, that could be you, buddy. Go up there and check it out.
MJ.
I'm sorry, I just want to make a call where I can hear the other person.
MJ, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, what's up, guys? Good afternoon. Do you remember the collect call campaigns that just disappeared a few years ago? There used to be collect call commercials all over the fucking place. I remember you used to have to make collect calls, and if you need your mom to pick you up, you say, you have a collect call from, Mom, pick me up in the morning, hurry up!
Yeah. Or you would have code words of, your mom would get this call. Yeah, you have a collect call from I'm Here Safe? And will you accept the charges? No. Here is Radio Shark. Radio Shark, go ahead, buddy.
Fez, just try some car doors till you find one open and sit down. Or put a cardboard box over your head.
That evil laugh. That evil laugh.
Ron, are you giving the silent sign?
I don't have a silent sign for these guys not to laugh at you. It's your delivery. Mike in Ohio.
Hey, Ronnie, I think Opie had this idea a couple weeks ago, but on the other hand, why don't we just put porta shitters on every corner, and then that way if you got to piss or shit, talk on the phone, whatever, that'd be a good idea.
Fezzy, did you get this idea from Opie?
No, I did not. Nope. This was my own idea.
Josh in Wisconsin.
Hey, Fezzy, I'm wondering, are you going to drill little holes in the side of your little fag boobs?
Now, it's weird, Josh, that you would think that's what you could use it for. Where I'm just thinking about having a phone call where you can hear, where you don't have to, scream on the street, or, a bus goes by and you miss whatever somebody's saying. I'm trying to make life nicer for people.
Wouldn't it be nicer if two guys could go in there and blow each other? Wouldn't they feel nice? Yeah. You'll do anything you can to make him look like an idiot, won't you, Dave?
No, it's a good idea.
Why are you always going to start on him? He's got a fucking brilliant idea here.
He's good.
The silent booth. And what does Dave do?
Oh, he shits on it, Ron. Tries to make it sound crazy that someone would want to hear a phone call. Tries to make it sound insane.
Eric, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, how come everybody, including that red-headed doofus bastard, how come everybody picks on what Fezzy says?
True.
I personally think that this is a great idea. How many times do you walk down the city street and hear somebody having some asinine conversation where you wouldn't rather some privacy?
Well, why don't you do this then? The people who are on the cell phone should get in the silent booth so they don't have to hear it.
Right. And there's too many of those. You would need like 10 booths on every corner.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not saying it's mandatory.
It's what?
Mandatory.
Here's Matt in South Carolina.
Yeah, I thought maybe we could bring back the old cone of silence from Get Smart and everybody walk around with a bubble on their head.
Everybody forgets what a breakthrough show that was. They really came out with a lot of great stuff. Jason in Philly.
Mr. B, I think the previous caller hit it on the head. What says he's doing here is he's taking into account that handicapped people won't be able to use the booths, and this is Fezzi's way of screwing Eastside Diddy Mac's daughter when she gets older.
Tim in Chicago.
Hey, I was going to ask Fez Opie if this idea came before or after the robot baseball idea.
Fezzi.
I don't have a robot baseball idea.
It's a pitching machine. It's not that big a deal. J-Dubs.
Hey, Greg Watley. With all these phobias that you have, you don't think you'd get claustrophobic in one of these booths?
You know what? Let's just face something. Dave is just mad that he didn't invent this and call it the corner jacking and call stall. Like you had your jack and ride helicopters.
Right. I mean, my jack and ride will get you over the city. You know, you'll have a nice trip. This is just stuck on
This
a corner.
has fucking come up.
Where people...
We are now 8 years after 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
And they find out a helicopter can go anywhere it wants over the city.
And the plane.
And the plane could too.
The plane was the one who didn't call in, and they said planes, small private planes like that, don't have to.
Then what the fuck why are we looking out for terrorists when we don't know what the fuck we're doing?
It makes no sense. Any small plane can leave Teterboro Airport without a flight plan.
Even after 9/11, fucking the Yankees pitcher a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I thought they were going to rectify the situation then.
He tried to pull a Yui in the East River and he hit a fucking building. Pulled a Yui.
What the hell are they doing? I thought they would have gotten on top of that after the Corey Lytle went down.